everyone. So today we're going to tackle two nursing theories, namely Lydia Hall and Nola J. Pender. So first, let us get to tackle the care, core, and cure model of Lydia Hall. For today's discussion objectives, number one is that we're going to look at the background of Lydia Hall and know about Lydia Hall's concept of nursing, know and understand the three C's, which is the care, core, and cure model, and know about Hall's nursing meta paradigm, and lastly, the major assumptions.
So, for the background of the author, her full name is Lydia Eloise Hall and was born on 21st of September in the year 1906 in New York City. She graduated from York Hospital School of Nursing in the year 1927 with a diploma of nursing. She earned a Bachelor of Science degree in Public Health Nursing in the year 1937. Received a master's degree in Teaching of Natural Life Sciences from Columbia University in the year 1942. She worked as the first director of the Loeb Center of Nursing. She is also an advocate for chronically ill patients. Her nursing experience was in clinical nursing, nursing education, research, and in a supervisory role. Lydia Hall's concept of nursing. It indicates three aspects of nursing. First is the aspect that needs medical interventions, which means this is a nursing care that requires the guidance or supervision of the doctor, meaning there are things that nurses can do to the patient that needs orders from the doctor, but there are also things that nurses can do independently, which means it doesn't require orders from the doctor. There are also interventions that would require collaborations. Nurses usually work in collaborations with the doctors and other members of the health team. Lydia Hall's concept is one of the most important contributions, in which she divided the three nursing care that we provide to our patients into three categories, which is the dependent, independent, and interdependent. So let's proceed for the overview of the theory. This theory was developed in the late 1960s. Nursing care can be delivered into three interlocking levels, which is the care, the hands-on bodily care, the core, which is using self in relationship to the patient, and the cure, which is seeing the patient and family through medical care. This theory defined nursing care as performed by trained nurses. Care focused on maintaining optimal health and quality of life from birth to end of life. Care is an ongoing matrix of learning and teaching. Care is focused on individuals, families, and communities.
So these are the three C's, which is the core, the care, and the cure. So the first circle that I'm going to discuss is the care. When we say care, it is the exclusive domain function of nurses. It is to provide care to the patients. Nurses are focused on performing the novel tasks of nurturing patients. Nurturing involves using factors that make up the concept of mothering, just like how mothers take care and comfort their children. Provide for teaching and learning activities. In the care circle, it is defined as the primary role of the nurses to provide a bodily care to the patients and help the patients to complete such biological functions as eating, bathing, dressing, and eliminating. With this provided care, the nurse's goal is the comfort of the patients. Moreover, the role of the nurses also includes educating the patients and help the patients to meet any needs that he or she cannot meet alone. And with this, it creates an atmosphere of trust and open communication between the nurses and the patient. So the second circle that I'm going to discuss is the core. When we say core, it refers to the patient or the recipient of care. The core is also anchored in social sciences, as nurses are taught on how to deal with people, because nurses have different ways on how to deal with patients, depending on what are the patient's diseases, or illnesses. The core circle also involves a therapeutic use of self. As you, as a nurse, you use yourself as a therapy to the patients. You are a patient's therapy. For example, if the patient is suffering more than the physical illness, let's just say if the patient has an emotional or mental problems, the nurses are there to help the patient to express their feelings. Nurses act as a mirror for the patients to explore his or her own feelings. To make yourself to be a form of therapy is to help the patients to verbally express themselves. And so the patient would feel motivated to get better. The patient would feel that there are also people that are concerned about them. Because the energy and motivation necessary for healing exist within the patient. So it is hard to help a person who doesn't want help. So for the patient to have or to recover or to get better, they must have a drive or desire to get better or to heal as well. So the core circle is an interdependent nursing function because nurses doesn't work alone in the circle. Nurses collaborate with doctors, the clergy, the social workers, and other health team members. The last one is the cure. When we say cure, it is a dependent nursing function. Why is it a dependent nursing function? It is because nurses are dependent on the doctors. Because nurses cannot cure the patients, only the doctors does. What nurses do is that they help or assist the doctors in performing those medical tasks. They also serve as an advocate to the patient and help the patient and the family of the patient to adhere to understand what kind of treatment that is given by them by the doctors.
So now for the meta paradigm. First is the individual. Hall defined the person as the totality of an individual who is in continuous process of becoming, evolving, and changing. Second is the health. She defined it to be a state of self-awareness with a conscious selection of behaviors that are optimal for that individual. Environment is referred as a conducive environment to develop self and achieve self-awareness as it extends beyond the patient's physical surroundings. Nursing is identified as consisting of participation in the care, core, and cure aspects of patient care.
So these are the major assumptions of the care, core, and cure model of Lydia Hall. Number one is that the motivation and energy necessary for healing exist within the patient rather than in the healthcare team. It is hard to help the patient to recover if the patient itself doesn't have the drive to heal and treat his or her own self. Even if we provide or use the different GCs, it is not easy if the patient doesn't have the motivation or energy to get better. So it is important that the patient must have the desire to get better. It is not only dependent on the healthcare team, but also it is dependent on the patient itself. So the second one is the three aspects of nursing should not be viewed as functioning independently, but as interrelated. So the three circles are interlocking because they are interrelated with each other. Not only that the nurse's main value is to take care of the patients, nurses can also do in the care and cure, in the care, core, and cure circles. And lastly, the three aspects interact and the circles representing them change size, depending on the patient's total course of progress. That is because, for example, if the core is much bigger than the care and the cure, then it means that this area or this circle is much needed more to the patients.
Good day, sir, and good day, everyone. Today we will talk about Nola J. Pender Health Promotion Model. Who is Nola Pender? Born on August 16, 1941 in Lansing, Michigan, studied at Michigan State University and Northwestern University, Professor Emerita of Nursing, co-founder of the Midwest Nursing Research Society, developed the middle range theory known as the Health Promotion Model. Her contribution to nursing: she guides nurses to focus on specific behaviors, reduce healthcare costs, and promote health in the community.
Before I start of the 5 key concept of health promotion model, let me give you an examples of health promotion models. Have you ever noticed the advertisement in the malls, grocery stores, and schools that advocate healthy eating and regular exercise? Have you gone to your local centers or hospitals that promoting physical activities and smoking cessation activities such as quit activities and brief interventions? Those are the examples of health promotion models. There are 5 key concepts of health promotion models, which is the person, environment, health, nursing, and illness. Person can modify cognition's effect and interpersonal and physical environment to create incentives for healthy actions. Environment, self-initiated reconfigurations person's environment, interactive patterns is essential to behavior. Because of this, the relationship between person and environment is reciprocal characteristic and life experience shape behaviors. Nursing, family, peer, and healthcare providers are important sources that can increase and decrease commitment to and engagement of health promotion model. Penders define health as a positive dynamic state, not merely the absence of disease, and last is illness. When health promotions and prevention fail to anticipate predicaments and problems, care and illness become subsequent priority.
Good day, sir. So today's video I'm gonna discuss the major concept and the definitions in Pender's theory. So as what Pender's defines health, positive dynamic state that not merely the absence of diseases. So it describes the multidimensional nature of a person which interact within the environment to pursue health. So majors concept and definition Pender's theory presented are found in HPM or the health promotional model. So we have different type of major concept. First, the prior related behavior is the frequency of the same or similar behavior from the past, the direct and the indirect effect on the likelihood of engaging in health promoting behavior from which they anticipate deriving personal benefits. Second, the personal factors. So it categorized as biological, psychological, and social cultural. So what is biological? If we define it in science, it is the botanic or living organism such as human and other mammals, most especially our nervous system. Second, what is psychological? It is the affecting or arising the human mind, or it is more related to the mental and emotional state of a person. Third, or the last one, is the social cultural. It involving a combination of social and cultural factors, the behavior that are shared by the member of society. So these factors are predictive of given behavior and shaped by the nature of the target behavior. That we have the personal biological factor. This included the factors that are variable, such as age, the body mass index, pubertal status, and etc. This person's value growth in directions viewed positive and attempt to achieve personally acceptable balance between change and the stability.
Personal psychological factor. It means improving yourself to do something efficiently and the degree to which an individual feels capable of effectively managing his or her health behaviors and health outcomes. Personal sociocultural factor. This means the process of adopting or learning to take on selected behaviors, also known to influence children's health-related quality of life.
Behavioral specific cognition and effects considered to be of major motivational significance. These variables are modifiable through nursing actions. Behavioral specific cognition and effects has 6 variables, which includes perceived benefits of actions, perceived barriers to action, perceived self-efficacy, activity-related effect, interpersonal influences, and situational influences. Perceived benefits of action. For example, after the dietary management or after an exercise, the person understands what are the benefits they get by doing this exercise. So next is perceived barriers to action. Perceived barriers to action identifies the barriers to do the risk modification like time or climatic conditions to do an exercise or added as such type of supports. Perceived self-efficacy, for example, after we give health education to the person or an education about dietary practices and exercise, the person feels motivated to do it, and that is perceived self-efficacy.
So activity-related effect is the course that a patient's feelings and mental state go through as they progress into a healthy behavior. So moving on to interpersonal influences, it includes the negative and positive impacts of family and colleagues of the patient in social media. So situational influences, meaning how a patient's environment hinders or encourages his or her health behaviors. It is how the patient will commit through with changing their behavior in order to obtain their goal of a health-promoting behavior. And lastly, immediate preferences. And lastly, immediate competing demands and preferences, which is the potential of a patient to second-guess their opinion to lead a healthy lifestyle.
So now let's proceed to talk about the behavioral outcomes. So the following, the three, are the immediate antecedents of behavioral outcomes. So first is the commitment to a plan of action. So it's the concept of intention and identification of a planned strategy that leads to implementation of health behavior. So when the greater commitment to a plan of action, the more likely health-promoting behaviors will be maintained over time. But when a person have a little control, or when other actions are more attractive and preferred over the target behavior, then the commitment to a plan of action is less likely to result in the desired behavior. Second is the immediate competing demands and preferences. So, competing demands are those alternative behavior over which individuals have low control because of environmental contingencies, such as work or family care responsibilities. So competing preferences are alternative behaviors over which individuals exert relatively high control, such as choosing ice cream or an apple for a snack. So this immediate competing demands and preferences are obstacles that intrude consciousness, hindering a planned health-promoting behavior. Lastly, the health promotion behavior. So it is the endpoint or action outcome directed toward attaining positive health outcome such as optimal well-being, personal fulfillment, and productivity. Examples are eating a healthy diet, exercising regularly, managing stress, gaining adequate rest, and spiritual growth, and building positive relationships. So these behaviors should result in improved health, enhanced function ability, and better quality of life at all stages of development. So the health promotion behavior is the desired outcome the desired behavioral outcome, which makes it the endpoint of the HPM model.
So, the health promotion model of Nola Pender makes 4 assumptions. First is individuals seek to actively regulate their own behavior. Second is individuals in all their biopsychosocial complexity interact with the environment, progressively transforming the environment as well as being transformed over time. The biopsychosocial approach systematically